My name's Barry McAuley, and I'm a lecturer in the School of Multidisciplinary Technologies in TU Dublin. I've also worked with Construction IT Alliance since 2012 in the area of research and development, particularly with their BIM workshops and anything to do with digital construction. And more recently within the BIM Innovation Capability Programme of Ireland, where we worked for a year and a half and produced a number of interesting reports and data which can all be still found on the www.bicp.ie. The Construction IT Alliance approached me again to come back and do some consultancy / work with them this year, which I was absolutely delighted, because I think that particularly in this area there's a need for further research, particularly with regards to kind of assisting the roadmap. So what we have is primarily where I'm going to be kind of working at this year. We look at this screen up in here. Each one of these organisations has their own BIM committee, digital construction group. None of them are talking to each other. Amazingly, we had our first meeting there last week, and it was fantastic to hear the work they're doing. Really interesting. The CIF have a number of documents. The RAI, which we have Michael early here today, who's going to come up after me, is going to discuss some of the work that they're about to publish. A lot of these organisations are doing terrific work, but there's no way to know if it's duplication, if they can feed into each other's kind of agenda, or how they can assist each other. So what we're set up in here is an umbrella forum, not a group, where we will feed back information, work with them, and ensure that there's a more strategic message, a strategic focus. And hopefully what that should accomplish is some really interesting work to advance the roadmap. Some of the work, while the roadmap kind of stands by itself, and it's difficult to know where we are at this moment in time, listening to what's going on with some of the working groups, it's evident to see that we are hitting some of the key milestones and objectives. While it might be kind of advertised or seen from a more holistic perspective, a lot of these areas are being hit because a lot of the kind of professional bodies are doing very interesting work. So what I'll be doing moving forward is really giving solid reports of what's going on in this particular area. The crux of what I'm hoping to accomplish, along with Dr. Alan Hoare and Professor Roger West from Trinity College, is to produce an update from the 2017 BIM in Ireland report. So what we're hoping to do is produce the 2019 BIM in Ireland report. If any of you know about this report and you've read it, we'll be hoping to update every particular section in it. We've already reached out to Dr. Mohammed Kasim, Abilar Sukar, and we have a maturity study going on. It'll be quite interesting to see the results of this survey, because the last time that we did it, it was just before the roadmap was released, as well as the government mandate. So it'll be interesting to see has these things affected the results, and where we were weak in those areas, what people's perspective is now. We'll also be reaching out to the industry, doing workshops, asking for case studies, as well as re-engaging with the BIM manager database that we had. So we're hoping to really give a really solid understanding of BIM in Ireland 2019 and put in some valuable kind of information in regards to the roadmap as well. Emma Hayes, who's here today, she's been hired in by CitA to re-engage with the BIM regions. Some fantastic work happening down the BIM regions. If we look up here, we have Western, Northwest, Midlands, Eastern, Southeast, Southern, Southwest. So we have a significant number of regional bodies, all doing something in this particular area. So Emma's been brought in to revitalise them, to re-energise them, re-engage, and hopefully now this year we'll see a real push in regards to the regional membership and regional events. I'd like to ask everyone here, if you have some interesting case studies, please approach me. I'd be delighted to sit down. What we're hoping to do this year is I'll re-engage with the BIM manager database, and we'd like to kind of get nearly our own personal Irish database of digital construction projects ongoing. It'd be quite a powerful message to show the industry a series of projects, a number of different initiatives happening throughout the country, all the way down to Leitrim, to Galway, across the whole country. By putting this forward, it'll really show where we are and how mature and what's going on. So the more the better. So if you can approach me, I've put my contact details up here. I'm more than happy to kind of come to you and kind of get some information. So I'd just like to finally talk about some of the strategic developments with the Construction IT Alliance and other partners. The first one is the MBS. The MBS and CitA have formed a partnership, And you may be aware that they've released a survey. I think most of you know about the MBS UK survey. They've also surveyed other kind of foreign markets. So it's great that this year we'll actually have a comparison, because the same questions that have been asked in the UK have been asked here. I put up a QR code there, so just scan and that'll bring you straight there. Some of the results coming back, I think we've got over 80 responses so far. Very good so far, really interesting. Most are saying that they are interested, they've adopted, they're knowledgeable in the particular area. They would turn to the Construction IT Alliance if they needed a voice and seat BIM, which is quite a good message from our perspective. They're still unsure in regards to the government mandate, if it's been successful, if it's working. I think Stephen hopefully will be able to kind of put that to bed. And then also that they are saying that they believe in the roadmap and that the roadmap is something that they would turn to. So some quite interesting results. So hopefully in the next meeting I'll have something a little bit more powerful to put across. Further strategic partnerships, BRE. I think we all know if you're going down the accreditation route of level 2 BIM, BRE are seen as a powerful partner in this area. Further to that, they also do a number of training events, and as well as that, they also do a number of different kind of events in terms of just promoting building information modelling, digital construction, and they're not just in that space, they're in a number of different areas. So we're hoping now the partnership with CitA will kind of help them kind of, I suppose, move towards the Irish sector, give them a bit more kind of, I suppose, gravitas in the area, and we're looking forward to working with them now this year. Another interesting initiative that I'm personally working on along with TU Dublin and a number of different international partners is the EU Horizon 2020 BIM CERT project. This is TU Dublin and Future Analytics, which are the Irish partners. And what we're essentially trying to do is we understand that the industry doesn't have time to upskill. They don't have time to go back in a lot of instances and do kind of night courses or do masters or kind of certificates. It's difficult. So what we're trying to do here is come up with a portal where you can access bite-sized modules, training in regards to kind of beginners all the way up to more specialised to particular areas like quantity surveying. So we're working on this. We have funding from the EU Horizon 2020, and hopefully we'll be launching something sometime this year. I'll be in Macedonia next week testing some of the materials we developed on it. So if you can have a look at the website there, it's very, very interesting what's going on in this particular space. So I'm going to just hand over now to Michael Early, who is part of now the BIM Umbrella Forum representing the RAI. So he's going to talk about some of the really exciting work that they've just done recently within this particular area.
Thanks, Barry. This is just a very quick introduction. It's a sort of a preview because we just launched a BIM pack yesterday on our website, and we're still working out the communications plan for this, which will happen next week. So what we have done is, and probably some of you are aware, we did a guidance document on a post-contract BIM execution plan, and then we did an EIR, because we start to realise that the real important document is what the employer or the client looks for. So what we've done as part of this BIM pack is we've done now a complete set of documents that supports PAS 1192, and what we will be doing over the next 6 months is aligning that to 19650. So the way we see this is, if the standards say what to do, our documentation will say how you get that done, which we think is a gap in the market, or a gap for industry professionals generally. So what it consists of is basically advice notes and templates. So there will be, if you need to produce a document, we produce a template, and if you need to know how to complete that document, there's an advice note how to do that. And we have various other advice notes and general notes and on about particular topics to do with BIM. So the committee is made up of a number of people who are in practice. We're architects because it's the Institute of Architects, and but we're now going to start engaging with all the other industry partners. That's professional bodies, education, and also umbrella groups like CitA and so on, and the Construction Industry Federation, to basically say, look, we've got something here, what have you got as well, and start to engage to come up with basically an industry-wide sort of adoption of the standards. Okay, so what do they look like? So what we've done is the advice notes, they're all up there on the website, so just go into riai.ie, and if you go to Working with an Architect, there's a section on BIM, and you'll find that there. So we've done a level 2 BIM document. So what is level 2 in our opinion? Bidding on BIM project, advice on that. Compliance plan, how do you show compliance? There's a document on information management roles, so our interpretation of what they mean to our business. Guidance on the common data environment, and then the terms, definitions, and abbreviations, which is basically something if you're bamboozled by terms at a meeting, you can bring that along and it'll explain exactly what those terms mean. There's another document which is very useful, and it's the it's information types. So we've gone through everything we produce as architects and said what that is, what type of document that is in terms of PAS 1192. So it's a set of deliverables. So it's a start, and we hopefully will use this to sort of engage with other industry partners as well, and what they deliver as well, and try and come up with a comprehensive list. It'll always be changing, but at least it's a start. So briefly, what we're looking at is the whole sort of information is, it looks at the brief, pre-contract, appointment, and post-contract. So for briefing, there's an organisation and asset information requirements, so what you as a client need to understand what to ask for in terms of asset information. Employer's information requirements, there's a template and the guidance document, and there's a pre-qualification questionnaire. And all these documents, you can take them as they are, or you can modify them, but we think they're quite good as they are. There's a pre-contract BIM execution plan, and then the supply chain capability summary, which is basically a document for you to assess your supply chain. Appointment documents, we've done responsibility matrix and master information delivery plan. There are templates at the moment, and we'll expand those out. The responsibility matrix is becoming really important in our business. We really need to define who's doing what exactly from the beginning of every project. And then there's a post-contract BIM execution plan, and then the appendices, which are basically documents that are set out the standard method and procedure for a project. Okay, so that's those documents. They're all up there. And that's the BIM execution plan, all the standard method and procedure. So they're quite comprehensive. They're we've gone through them completely, so we think they're all now at this stage, all correlating with the PAS standards. And we'd be happy to let anyone know that they aren't. Okay, so to get those documents, you go on to riai.ie, go to working with an architect, and then under building information modelling, you'll have access to those documents. Okay, so what are our goals for 2019? So we're organising a CPD event. It's on the 28th of March. I think that's confirmed now. And Ralph Montague, who's on our committee as well, will introduce the BIM pack as well as part of that. We hope to engage with the NSAI, basically in the Irish adoption of ISO 19650, and also the national annex. We'll engage with professional bodies then on the BIM pack with a progression towards ISO 19650. So by the time we get to June, July, we would hope to be able to update those documents, have an industry agreement on what we are doing in Ireland in regard to 19650. So engage with professional bodies as well on the plan of work. This is something that's been out there for a little while. We need to get it done, to get a plan of work for our business. So what we do as architects, what engineers do and so on, and how we all work together under a common stage system as well. And we're engaged with the professional bodies then on the comprehensive benchmark responsibility matrix, so that we understand each other's scope. And then to provide advice for small firms. There's a lot of small firms doing BIM, and are a lot of small firms, I suppose, possibly struggling with BIM. It's a lot of information. And so that's one thing we need to concentrate on, is that it's not all about big companies. And then to look at then extending the information as well, or the advice on the handover and asset information. So anyway, any suggestions that you have on the information that's there, if you send those to info@riai.ie for the attention of the RIAI BIM committee, we'll happily take those. And if you want to engage with the committee on these standards, if you send an email to that as well, and we'll happily engage on that as well. So that's it, just giving you a preview update. There'll be more information on this over the next couple of weeks, so just watch out for it. Okay, thank you.